All
right, Alicia, here we go.
Okay. Somebody, I have to figure out when to start. Okay.
Oh, do you want me to say an action, Alicia?
Yeah, that would be helpful.
And action.
Let's not fumble for excuses. Not here and now with my hair down. At best, let's say I've been oversensitive, well, to the fact that she's so young and feminine and helpless. So many of the things I want to be for Bill. Funny business, a woman's career. So, oh, I just dropped the line. Let me try it again. That was crazy.
Well, let me give you an opening beat. I think you're much more irritated. I think you should be much more irritated, Alicia.
At the beginning, but then I get a little wistful, I think. So in one section, I feel like.
I'm not talking about anything but the beginning. You
Okay.
have, the woman is saying something to you that maybe this was meant or whatever. Let's not fumble over it. You're anxious and you're upset.
Okay.
Here we go. And action.
Let's not fumble for excuses. Not here and not now with my hair down. At best, let's say I've been oversensitive to the fact that she's so young and feminine and helpless. So many of the things I wish I could be for Bill. Funny business, a woman's career. The things you put aside on the way up because you're in a hurry, you forget you're going to need them again when you go back to being a woman. And that's one career all females have in common, is being a woman. Sooner or later, we have to work on that. And no matter what other careers we've had or wanted, in the last analysis, all that really matters is if you look up right before dinner or turn around in bed, there he is. And if he's not, you're not a woman. There's something with the French provincial office for a book full of clippings. Not a woman.
Okay, so Alicia,
I lost my mind.
start out with, I want you to start out with your activity. You're in a car. You're on
I want to take this out. I just forgot. I had trouble coordinating it suddenly.
You're in a car. You're on the freeway. You're hysterically trying to put on your makeup. So you're talking as you're fluffing this stuff on your cheeks and your chin.
Okay.
You're putting and you're irritated. You just irritated. Let's not fumble while I've got my hair down. You've got to say it's not. I know you're thinking wistful and sweet. This is a piranha of a woman. She has eaten all the fish she can possibly have to get to the top of the sea of acting.
Okay.
And she knows that she has now got a piranha on her tail. And she's at that age where she also has to make that decision. Do I remain a performer or do I become a woman? Before it's too late. So I want you, before you start to feel the anxiety, you've got to get to this Broadway play. You know the critics are going to be there. You're friggin' in traffic. You have no idea you've been set up. And you're freaking out. You're trying to get your face on. You're still hopeful that you are going to get to this performance.
Okay. Totally. Okay, that's fine. That's all good.
And action.
Let's not fumble for excuses. Not here and
do not talk. Do not talk. Start with the makeup and then talk.
Okay.
Look out, like you see traffic. You're freaked.
Okay.
And action.
Let's not fumble for excuses. not
No,
here, and
no. I'm
I
going to
don't
get,
understand.
I know I'm going to get you freaked out until you do it. You're putting on your blush as you're talking. Come on.
Okay,
Let's not fumble. This is ridiculous. Um, Alicia, you're way too calm. Look, this woman's panicked.
okay, but wait, okay,
Let's not put
okay.
words,
I'll
please.
panic, but that's not,
Okay,
okay,
hold
yep.
on. Got it. Okay, and action. Go talk.
Let's not fumble for excuses, not here and now with my hair down. The best to say I've been oversensitive to the fact that she's so young and so feminine and helpless. So many things I want to be for Bill. You know, funny business, a woman's career, the things you drop on the way up the ladder so
Put
you
your
can
lip.
move faster. You
Put your
forget you'll need
lipstick
them.
on.
You forget you'll need them again when you go back to being a woman.
To question yourself.
That's one career all females have in common, whether we like it or not, being a woman. Sooner or later, we've all got to work at it, no matter what other careers we've had or wanted. And in the last analysis, all that really matters is that at night, right before dinner, or then you turn around and you look up and there he is. And without that, you're not a woman. You're something with the French provincial office or a book full of clippings, but you're not a woman.
All right, we're going to do this again. You hear this sound, Alicia?
Yep.
That's how fast I want you to go.
Okay.
This is a woman who's spewing things from hell. As she's not a philosopher, it's just all spewing out of her. It's right from
Okay.
from her gut.
Okay.
All right. You've got to start with the makeup. You've got to do the lipstick. You only begin to have a realization towards the end of it.
Okay.
And action. Go.
Let's not fumble for excuses, not here and not now with my hair down. At best, let's say I've been oversensitive to the fact that she's so young and helpless and feminine. She's so many of the things I want to be for Bill. Funny business, a woman's career, the things you drop on the way up so you
Feel
can move
angry.
faster. You forget that you need them again on the way down. That's one thing all females have in common. Sooner or later, we've all got to work at it, no matter what other careers we've ever had. And in the last analysis, nothing is any good unless you can look up before dinner and look over in bed and there he is. And without that, you're not a woman. You're something with a French provincial office or a book full of clippings.
Take it
Not a
back.
woman.
A woman. Take it back. Without that, you're not a woman. And to make your point, angry, upset. Go.
Without that last line of the whole thing.
From there on, without that, come on.
Okay. Without that, you're not a woman. You're something with a French provincial office or a book full of clippings, but you're not a woman.
Don't go down with it. Make your point. From there on, make your point.
Okay.
You're just this and you're just that. You're not a woman, you're a thing with a vagina. You know what I mean?
Okay.
To make your point there. Let's take it from there.
Without that, you're not a woman. You're just something with a French provincial office or a book full of clippings. You're nothing. You're not a woman.
Okay, you want to put it all together now? You
Sure.
cannot slow down. You cannot get
Okay.
soft.
Well, because my whole before thing was she wasn't angry. She wasn't angry, but you got me angry now, so I'll be angry.
Alicia, you're telling me you're stuck in traffic. You're the star of a Broadway show. You're
See,
fucking up.
my before moment was she realizes that she's totally fucked. She's not going to make it, and she's kind of resigning herself to it. But I'll do it the other way.
Actress resigns themselves.
Okay.
That's why you're putting on your makeup and your lipstick. There's still hope for you.
Okay.
You have that realization, and maybe you stop. but you
Okay.
don't drop your voice. Here we go. Come on, start with the makeup. Go, go, go,
Okay.
go, go. Action. Go.
Let's not fumble for excuses. Not here and not now with my hair down. In fact, let's say I've been oversensitive to the fact that she's so feminine and helpless and young. So many things I want to be for Bill. Funny business, a woman's career. The things you drop on the way up the ladder because you're in a hurry, you forget you're going to need them again on the way down. And that's one career all women have in common, is just working on being a woman. And sooner or later, we all realize that in the final analysis, all you have is if you look up at dinner or you look over at bed, and he's there. And without that, you're just a piece of French provincial furniture, sorry, or a book full of clippings, but you're not a woman.
Why did you say you're sorry?
Well, because I said I was a piece of French provincial furniture. I didn't mean that. I just struck me as funny. Okay.
But that was a real organic pause for you to laugh at. So take it again. Go. And don't drop it. At the end, it's a sudden realization. You're a piece of furniture. Oh, but you're not a woman. You're frustrated. Here we go. Come on, go.
Let's not fumble with excuses. Not here and not now with my hair down. In fact, let's say I've been oversensitive to the fact that she's young, feminine, so helpless. Too many of the things I want to be for Bill. It's funny business, a woman's career. The things that you drop on the way up the ladder, you forget that you need to have them again when you want to be a woman again. And that's one career all females have in common, is being a woman. And that's something we all have to work on eventually.
Keep your energy.
Sooner or later, we've all got to work at it, no matter what career we've had or wanted. And in the final analysis, all you really have is, the fact that you can look up at dinner and see them, or turn over in bed and see them. And if you don't have that, you've got nothing, and you're not a woman. You're just a person with an office full of French provincial furniture or a book full of clippings, but you're not a woman.
Make your point, but you're not a woman.
But you're not a woman.
No, come on. Push it. You're angry. You're frustrated. You're not a woman.
Okay. Without that, you're not a woman. You're something with a French provincial office or a book full of clippings, but you're nothing. You're not a woman.
There you go. There you go. All right, everybody come back. So, a lot of reality happens with acting. When you first start off acting, and Alicia, I think that's what you did. You wanted to have this profound discussion.
That's how I saw it, and then you just took me in another direction, that's all.
Because that's not what the monologue is about. It's a discovery. As she's trying to get ready to get to this Broadway opening, knowing that there's a critic there. She's in this car, she's trapped, and she has this aha moment. And it's just such a horrible aha moment. The aha. Go ahead.
I mean, I totally understand that. So here's my question as an actor. I interpreted the scene entirely differently. I rehearsed it entirely differently. So now I come in and I'm working with you and you're the director. So I just have to completely change gears and do it your way, which is what happened right here.
Absolutely.
Because I've been practicing it different all week long.
Right. And here's the deal. It will always continue to be that. Always. Because that's the whole thing of acting. You may see it one way, but they want to see if you see it another way.
Right.
That shows them that you can take direction and act.
So will the director keep doing that? Keep pushing you to get it where it wants to be?
In the old days, yes. In today's world, no. They don't have time. Patrick will tell you. They're too busy talking to the gaffers, to the lighting man, to the cameramen, to the makeup people, to the hairdressers. In today's world, they don't even direct you. You're lucky if you get directed. So you, the actor, have to feel what the character is going through. And what this woman is going through is this horrible, horrible aha moment. I went through it doing stand-up comedy. At the height of when I was voted best comic coming out of the US with Rita Rudner, I had to make a decision. Am I going to be like one of the guys and lose all my femininity, or am I going to be a woman? And it was a real tough decision for me, and I chose a woman, and it was horrible. It was probably the worst decision I made, and yet the best, because I was turning into a man. I was like, every other word was fuck, motherfuck, yeah, fuck, god damn it, because I was around Jay Leno and Letterman and Sam Quasman and Marty Cohen and Chevy Chase, all those greats. And so, I was adopting the worst of men. And that's what she's really saying. Do I keep my femininity and my man, or do I go on for the glory of the Oscars?
And I will say those words really snapped and came to life when you played that pitch. Like I've seen All About Eve. I haven't seen it in 20 years, and I know we're not supposed to think about Bette Davis, but the cadence of those words really snapped, and the sharpness of that dialogue really snapped when it was that way. And before that pace, it just didn't have that sound to it.
I really started to believe you when you speeded it up.
Yeah.
The more you kept that cadence, it felt more real to me.
Yeah, there is a cadence to it. It's a beautifully written role for a woman.
And it is done faster. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to get that rhythm of it, and also the anxiety thing comes in, and the frustration comes in, and how do I make this choice? And the whole sad thing about this whole movie is that her husband ends up with her. It's her friend who sabotages it for her, thinking she's doing the right thing, whose husband runs away with Eve. And that's the writer. And Eve just sells herself then eventually to the columnist. She's a whore. She's a whore for acting.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite things, and you did a good job.
Yeah, my favorite too.
Yeah, you took my direction, and I think you're beginning to get it, Alicia.
Okay.
Yeah, it
I
was
just
good.
have to, I have to just learn how to switch gears entirely and immediately take on the tone you're looking for. Because the reason I was having trouble is I was still mentally fighting what you wanted me to do, because I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I know.
And I think that's that whole "it's not about you" thing with acting. It really wasn't about what I wanted to do; it was what you wanted to do. So
yeah,
I just have to let go.
And I saw the transition and the improvement, and you were good.
Okay.
Yeah, and I understand, Alicia. I did the same thing several times with monologues and had to be redirected. In one instance, I even chose for a character, an original character written by a really well-known writer who came to see our show. I was playing a rock and roll girl, and I came out in a wedding dress. And I had chosen, it was for the night of my wedding. And the other women in this play with me, we were all doing monologues, went, "Are you kidding? What the hell are you thinking, Toni?" But I had to go through the process, and that's what you're going through, Alicia. I had to go through the process before I really found this rock and roll character, who'd gone through hell. And the writer came to see it, and he loved it. I got a lot of jobs from that one showcase, you know? And I never saw the character that way until I evolved. But the other actresses helped me tremendously. All right, who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
My problem is that I haven't done anything with this and I can't find the file. So I have to kind of go back, or do you want me just to skip it today?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, this is the golden prince. So I am a statue.
And the bird and the little bird flies down. You don't have to.
And he's on my shoulder.
But we need.
And he feels a tear.
Right. So remember, I told you should be in here, and then you maybe go down and, or you take the bird.
Mm-hmm.
That could be your activity. Okay.
No, I want him right there. He was on my head, and now I want him on my shoulder. And
don't tell me. I don't want you to tell me. I want you to show me.
The little bird is feeling my tears.
Don't
ask me what is wrong. You know, how can you be crying? You're a statue.
Judith, don't tell us.
Okay.
Show us.
When I was alive and had a human heart, I didn't know what tears were, for I lived in the palace of Sanssouci where sorrow is not allowed. In the daytime, I played with my companions in the garden, and in the evening, I had the dance in the great hall. Round the garden ran a very high wall, but I never cared to ask what was over the wall. Everything about me was so beautiful, and I was having such a good time. I just didn't care about anything. The courtiers called me the happy prince, and I was indeed very happy. If pleasure is happiness, I lived that way, and I died that way. And now that I'm dead, and they've set me up here so high that I can see all the ugliness and all the misery and all the sadness of the city. And though my heart is made of lead, I still can't help but to weep.
Okay, Judith, that was lovely. Now, again, I'm going to give you some direction. And since you don't know it, I don't want you to look down to read it. I want you just to improvise it. But I do want you to start off as a statue, even if you're sitting down, and show me the bird, and maybe even lower the bird to your shoulder. Okay? That'll give you some action and activity. Pet the bird as you start to talk. Now talk. Just improvise. Look into the camera.
I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to be the happy prince, but you see that I'm crying. And of course, when I was alive, before they made this statue of me, I never cried. I was always so happy. I had everything. I had beautiful clothes, and I had beautiful surroundings, my bedroom and my bed and the living room. And I lived in a beautiful castle, and people took care of me. And I had no issues. I had no problems. I had everything. I had everything I wanted. I had beautiful, I loved walking around inside the courtyard. Everything was so groomed, and I loved the gardeners, and I loved everything. And then, of course, when I got older and I passed away, I died and they made a statue of me, and here I am. And now I'm crying.
To try not to cry.
And I am crying.
Try not to cry.
I'm crying because I'm looking around and I see such sadness. I see such poor people, things I'd never seen before. And that's why, even as a statue made of stone, my heart is breaking.
That was really nice, Judith. You have a lot of talent. You don't even know it. Everybody turn their camera on.
Yeah, and I've never, this is my first thing I've ever done with, and I so enjoy it. And I've been so occupied and so busy this whole week that I didn't do anything. So, you know, I wanted to work on it. And I should really, I want to do other monologues too, you know, but I like what you helped me with. You know, you made it so that I was real. I felt it. You know, I love Oscar Wilde so much, as you know, and everything he's written, I adore. And I keep his picture right next to my desk. I look at him all the time. And
so what did you guys think? I was very moved by the second one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The minute I felt that the bird came down and she began to pet it and started to describe and smell what she was describing, I really got into it. And I especially saw, Judith, colors come to you when I said try not to cry.
That's when I really saw it too.
Yeah, with that intention, I was like, I wanted to cry, you know. I could feel like how Judith was containing all her emotion. And I was like, oh, I can feel it. It was really beautiful.
Toni, your direction is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
Oh, well, thank you. But I mean, isn't it exciting to start to really get it, to start to feel it, to start to go, oh, that's, yeah.
No, I feel it. I feel everything. I feel too much. As a matter of fact, there are lots of things I can't look at, you know, in the city. I cannot look at the people lying on the sidewalk. I can't. It's too
I hear
painful.
the city's gotten really bad too.
Oh, it's so sad.
Okay, we have to go on Marshall or Patrick.
I'll go next because I don't want to follow Marshall. I love what he does, and it's so I can't follow a World War II battle speech, you know, with a little light comedy scene.
Okay, everybody turn off your camera. All right, here we go.
So Toni, I have my little coffee cup. You said
Yeah.
maybe do something with give me a little bit of business to do.
Uh-huh.
So I'll do it, and whatever you say, it's all good with me.
Okay, sweetheart. And action.
Do you want to sit on my lap? No?
Thought you might want to know why it was I left your mother. Truth is, I didn't like her very much. Oh, she was a good woman. Worked hard, never complained when we didn't have any money. Trouble was, she wasn't any fun. She had no humor at all. I could never make her laugh. I think that's what hurt me more than anything. We'd go to a party. I'd have a couple of drinks in an hour. I swear, I'd have them all rolling on the floor. I'd look over at her. She'd just be staring at me. A blank look on her face. Not angry, not upset, just not understanding. As if she just walked into a foreign movie that didn't have any subtitles. She just didn't know how to enjoy herself.
What is that sound, Judith? Judith, that sound. Turn off your microphone, Judith, please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was funny. Just as I started to talk, I heard Judith say, "Do you want to sit on my lap?"
laugh. I thought it was your wife saying a line to you, and I thought, oh, my
Wish.
I was
Yeah.
talking to my dog.
Yeah.
God, that you turn off your mic. All right, so Patrick,
Yeah.
are you really listening to your daughter at the beginning?
No, what I was trying to do was I was thinking that this was like that pregnant pause moment where this isn't a guy who is very comfortable talking about his emotions and he's sitting down with her and he's got something to say, but it's hard for him to say it. That's what I was trying to do.
Let's start off with that cup. Take the cup up now.
Uh-huh.
And it's that awkward moment. Do you have a spoon?
Yep.
Instead of stirring it, tap the cup uncomfortably.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
All right, just try it right now. Just start tapping it. Real fast. You're looking at her, and then you don't try and look at her. Then stop.
I thought you might want to know why it was I left your mother.
Yeah, but I don't want you to start right away. So,
Okay.
in other words, with the cup,
Yep.
I want it to be that there was a conversation. I'm going to do it with this.
Yeah.
So I suppose you want me to talk about your mother and tell you what happened.
Yeah, that's great.
It's
Okay.
like, it's like, shit,
Uh-huh.
I can't get out of this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh dear God.
Right.
You know. And then I want you to, I want you to stop every now and then and catch yourself that no matter what you say, it sounds like you're being mean and you don't wish to be mean,
Right.
but you're just trying to tell the truth. So
Okay.
every time you think you're mean, Patrick, I want you to stop, try and rethink it. No, don't open your eyes wide. Just try and honestly rethink it.
Yep.
And then you blurt it out again, even worse.
Okay.
All right, let's see what happens.
Okay.
Let's start with a cup. So you start stirring and then, yeah, you're stirring. And then there's this dead silence. Can you tap the outside of the cup? Oh shit, you're busted.
Thought you might want to know why it was I left your mother. Truth is, I didn't like her very much. Oh, she was a good woman. Worked hard, never complained when we didn't have any money. Trouble was, she wasn't any fun.
I know it's bothering me, Patrick.
Yep.
You're not tense in your body.
Okay, I should be tense.
Your shoulders should be up to your friggin' ears.
Uh-huh.
This is not something you want to talk about. Your shoulders should be up by your ears.
Yeah.
Tapping that thing.
Okay.
And then they should still remain up by yours. Like, all right, I guess you want to know about your mother.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just blurted out. You're blurting things out, okay?
Okay.
All right, and start by stirring and then tapping the outside,
Okay.
showing us with your spoon how really uncomfortable you are with this whole thing, your whole body.
I guess you want to know what happened, why I left your mother. Oh, the truth is, I guess I didn't like her very much. She was a good woman. She worked hard. She never complained when, we didn't have any money.
Try to praise her.
Problem was, she wasn't any fun. She had no humor at all, really. I could never make her laugh. I think
Get your daughter's sympathy.
I think that's what hurt me more than anything. We'd go to a party and I'd have a couple of drinks, and in an hour, I'd have them all rolling on the floor laughing. And I'd look over at her and she'd just be staring at me. Just a blank look on her face. Not angry, not upset, just not understanding. As if she walked into a foreign movie that didn't have any subtitles. She just didn't know how to enjoy herself.
You almost had it.
Mm-hmm.
The word that I wanted to say was, you're trying to cover your feelings,
Mm-hmm.
but this really did hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You married someone who didn't get you.
Right.
And for a comic, this is the worst thing that can happen in their life.
Yeah.
So I need for you to bring in your animal.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I need for your body to be tense and terse, and you've got to get your daughter to like you. God damn it, there's got to be one woman in your life that likes you, because nobody else likes you. You need someone to like you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
All right, cup. And be into the coffee. Yeah, but you know, what's in there? Is there any coffee grounds? What? Oh, shoot, nobody's talking. And by the way, when you talk about your wife, keep going. When you talk about her and you show that face, I want you to do the face of her staring at you and then say the words. Action.
Suppose you want to know why I left your mother.
Get your shoulders up.
The truth is, I didn't like her very much. She was a good woman. Worked hard. She never complained when we didn't have any money. Problem was, she just wasn't any fun. You know, she had no humor at all. I could never make her laugh.
Yeah, make your point.
I think that's what hurt me more than anything. You know, we go to a party, I'd have a couple of drinks, and in an hour, honey, I'd have them all rolling on the floor. And I'd look over at her and just be staring at her. A blank look on her face. Not angry, not upset, just not understanding. As if she walked into a foreign movie that didn't have any subtitles. She just didn't know how to enjoy herself. I hope that doesn't make me a bad person.
That was really nice, Patrick. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, I was just thinking, like, I was going off of your suggestion that he's, you know, he's hoping that he hasn't alienated his daughter.
Yeah. No, I really liked it this way. Everybody else, you want to give your opinion? Make them positive opinions, please.
Oh, I'll say something. I just find the monologue to be really ironic because you know it's a confession and it's painful, but the character is funny at the same time. Do you know what I mean? You can't, and it's just there's just a lot of irony and meaning, behind that, and it kind of makes me just wonder, like, what's the daughter's reaction, But I'm guessing it must be somewhat encouraging because you're allowed to continue to talk. Do you know what I mean? And just be that yourself that you're talking about, that you can't be around your wife or even, at a party with your wife. So I just, it's an interesting piece in that regard.
Well, in the play, she comes out to solve the mystery of her life. She saw her dad. He left when she was like 4 and her brother was 2. The mother never talks about him. So she's sort of like all ears waiting to hear the story of what happened. She's trying to put the pieces together. Yeah, but you're right. I mean, I really like this play.
I liked when you did her face. That really made me laugh.
Yeah.
I think you could have done that a second time because you kind of reiterated, and there was an opportunity where you could have done it a second time. I think that would
I
have
really
been funny.
think you should, because it was so funny. And I look over at her and she goes, and then you
I
say it
think,
again.
yeah, I think like the character has a lot of courage to talk to his daughter that way, because I remember when my dad talked to us, like when he was gonna get separated from my mom, it was like that. He was like, he doesn't know how to talk to us. He was trying to get like her head anywhere else but there. And but later he talked to us with the courage because we needed to know that. And I think that's a really beautiful thing because everything can happen, but you love your daughter and you like gotta tell her what is going on and give your opinion. So I totally love that.
Oh, thank you.
I thought it was very good,
Oh,
really good. Very good, very, very believable.
Yeah,
Good,
you can feel
good
your
acting.
anger, anxiety.
Yeah.
uh-huh. It's interesting because I think like last week I played it like too sad. So I think I was trying to play it with a little more energy this week and a little funnier. But when Toni said you're trying to win your daughter over and you're revealing that, you know, this was your first wife, and the monologue was a little bit too long for me to want to do tonight. But the second half of it, he says that when he says to the wife, because he goes on to tell her the story of how, you know, when he laughed, that if she had just laughed at how in the middle of dinner he just announces he's packed up his stuff and he's going to leave, if she had just laughed, he would have unpacked his bags and stayed. But cold as ice, she said, "Who needs you? You're a bum. Get out of there." And you know, it was a loss for him. Probably this was his first wife, and he wishes it worked out. Thing.
Isn't he his only wife?
He says he's been married 2 other times, both unsuccessfully, and then he's got, in the movie it's Anne Margaret, and she's like wants a commitment and he won't commit, and I think by the end of the daughter leaving and going back to New York, he's like become a better person and probably able to commit to.
Yeah, he doesn't become so self-centered. He was a
Right.
self-centered man.
That's right.
Most comics are extremely self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about them. And he was a comedy writer.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Good work.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Marshall, here we go. Do you have the headband, Marshall? Put the headband on.
Yeah, just a second here. Is this gonna be good for you if I stand here?
Raise the
No?
camera up. Raise the camera up. And put that other scarf on with the red dot. Yeah.
Right, okay.
諸君、いよいよ我らの進化が問われる時が来ました。日本の帝国軍の一員として、誇りを持って戦ってくれることを信じ、この硫黄島は日本における最重要拠点だ。
Men, the time has come to show your true colors. As members of the Honorable Japanese Imperial Army, I trust that you will fight with honor. This island is of utmost importance to Japan. Should it fall, the enemy will use this as their base to attack our homeland. For
our homeland, for the mainland. To the very last man, our duty is to stop the enemy right here. Not one of you is allowed to die until you've killed at least 10 US soldiers. Do not expect to return home alive. I will always be in front of you. Tendo Hikyo! Banzai! Banzai! Banzai!
So, Marshall,
Yeah.
I thought that was lovely. Now, I have a couple of suggestions. I really loved you speaking in Japanese with your back towards your troop. I really like that. But when you turn around, you must have more energy and louder on that first line. What's that first line?
Men, the time has come to show your true value.
Yes, I would like to see you turn around and say it in Japanese first and then translate it into English.
So when my back is turned, I do say it in Japanese. You want me to say it again?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
do. So when you turn around, and every now and then, I want you to slip in what you're saying in Japanese and translate it into English.
Okay.
All right? But it must be that strong. Men, at the beginning, you can't be like you're just talking to them.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Because I loved everything you did. And bring the Japanese into the English as well.
Okay. Shokun, いよいよ我々の進化が問われる時が来ました。日本帝国軍の一員として誇りを持って戦ってくれることを信じ、この洋島、日本における最重要拠点だ。男性、men, the time has come to show your true value. This island is of utmost importance to Japan. Should the enemy attack it, they will use this as their base to attack our homeland.
Go to Japanese.
日本、俺たちの本州。
English.
For our mainland. Until the very last man. 最後の人のまでです。Our duty is to stop the enemy right here. 避けられない挑戦ですよ。Not one of you is allowed to die until you at least kill 10 American soldiers. 米国の軍は攻撃です。やっちゃれ。Do not expect to return home alive. それは不ヒーローですよ。I will always be in front of each of you. 天皇必教万歳万歳万歳
Oh, that was so good. That was so good. How did you feel about that?
Doing the Japanese in between helps.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Come back. That was really chilling. It really pushed you more into the character. Wasn't that great, you guys?
Yeah.
Wow. It was just scary. You did really good work with it, Marshall.
Yeah, thanks. I had to work with my Japanese friend quite a bit because we were working on the transcribing the Japanese, and it's an older form of Japanese, and they don't speak this way anymore.
So we were working quite a bit on it. Yeah.
But I really felt you when you were speaking Japanese. I felt your emotions.
Yeah.
So much more. And then when you spun around and you did it in Japanese and then English, it really, well, it built up a lot of tension.
Mhm.
Any other comments? I really liked it, Marshall. You
Um,
showed that you worked
yeah.
very.
Because I've spent so much time in Japan. You know, we had factories there, and I went there a lot, and I knew a lot of Japanese people, and none of them, you didn't sound like any of them. It was just, there were moments, slight moments, when it sounded like all the people I knew, and you know, all the action on the streets and in the factories, but it didn't seem. Have you been to Japan?
Yeah, I lived there 3.5 years.
Oh, so then you know what it's like. I wonder, I guess Japan is such a diverse country. Depending on where you are, it's different, maybe.
Well,
I have to say this about the language of this. It's called Kambun, and it's Chinese Japanese.
Ah,
Oh, and
that's why.
number two, this is in English. This is Imperial Japanese language, which why if you watch a lot of World War II movies, like even if they're Americanized, they're always talking like this. You know what I mean? And that's an old imperial form of speaking, but it's also very masculine. And the way this is written in Japanese, it's very very masculine. And it's supposed to come out. I was trying to bring that up, but to your point, no, like on a regular day basis, no Japanese person is going to talk like that.
Yeah.
You know?
But if you see them in films, the Kurosawa films and everything, that's how they spoke, the way you're doing it, Marshall. And also I loved how you stopped, really gave it a moment to say, none of you will come back alive.
Mhm.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
good.
really a stunning point. It was very, but I will be there ahead of you, in front of you. It was really quite moving.
Yeah.
I thought it was very complex, Marshall. I felt you as a man, your pain, in spite of what you were asking them to do. I felt your pain, which was very effective, you know, from an acting standpoint, because you weren't allowed to show that, but I felt it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
What did you
Marshall,
think?
I had a oh.
Do they have museums in Japan for fallen soldiers in World War II?
Oh yeah, extremely controversial. It's called Yasukuni Jinja, Yasukuni Shrine.
Oh, they have
It's very
temples and museums everywhere. So many.
Interesting.
Yeah, but so I mean, there are a lot of war criminals that are honored there, and it always gets the Chinese and the Koreans very upset. And every year, there's always something in the paper. But it's because this headband actually was finding just a plain one was very difficult to find. And I was actually talking to my Japanese friend, and I was like, I can't wear this anywhere because what this evokes. It's like it'd be me like wearing a Nazi symbol.
Right.
In the US, you know, at a temple, because that's what this evokes. You know what I mean?
When I performed in Japan and China, my mime outfit had a big white bee with that big red circle in it. I had no idea what it meant, but the Japanese were terrified at first, and then they got used to me. I actually did a show at the Steinway. Is it Steinway or what's the big Japanese piano? Steinway's, whatever it is. I did a show, and they had politely put seats out, and there was a window behind them. And as I started to throw a rope and come out into the audience, the entire audience politely stood up and walked outside the window and watched me. So there was nobody for me to play with in the audience. And then the minute I got back on stage, they all politely came back in to watch me. It was a trip for me, a real trip.